Coach Dutcher's out of the way. Excuse me.
Like every motherfucking question, though.
All right. We are joined by student athletes from the Kansas Jayhawks. Welcome, guys. Mr. McCormick sitting closest to me, Mr. Martin, and Mr. Harris. All right. And we can fire away from questions in the room, and then we'll take questions on Zoom once questions in the room have been exhausted. We'll start left front.
Shea Wildebohr, JayhawksLand.com. David, obviously 2 years ago, no tournament. Last year was kind of in the bubble. This year's kind of returned to normal. What's it like to be here? And maybe for all three of you guys, what's it been like since you've been here? And how are you guys staying busy?
March is just a great feeling just to, still play basketball. We're coming in with great energy. Today we had fairly good practice, just kind of getting after preparing for our game and just make sure we have the right mindset to lock in. But, it's also a grateful feeling to be here since, last year was cut short for us in the year before, season ended on an early term. So I appreciate every moment that I have to play in this month.
Remy, you want to follow up on that?
Yeah, no, same with me. I'm just grateful to be able to play basketball, and March is a very big month for college basketball, and just really grateful that we're able to play, because I know other teams as well. Season is over with, so just grateful to be able to play with the guys and be able to put Kansas uniform on. So I think it's just a great opportunity for everybody, and I'm happy it's back to normal.
All right, DeJuan.
Oh, yeah, what they said, I'm thankful, too, to be here because, last year was cut short. And then my freshman year, I was here when they was like one of the best teams in the country. That was cut short, too. So, I'm just thankful to be here with my teammates and trying to make a big run.
Do we have the microphone with anyone else? Let's go front, second row to the right.
Jordan, to be Capital Journal. Remy, we talked a lot about your energy over the course of this season. Have there been any games where you've gone in and felt like, okay, this is a game I have to bring that energy, or has it always just been, a part of you coming just from getting out there?
No, how I play is just who I am. So energy and just, trying to bring enthusiasm and trying to help my team out is, who I am. So I go in just being who I am, and whatever minutes I get, whatever time I'm on the court, I just want to be able to, produce and help my teammates win. So there's not really any, way that I go into the game. I just go in there trying to be myself and try to help the team win. That's what I'm here for.
Go back on the left.
Hey, Dave, I was going to ask you, how's your foot? You anticipate being on any minute restrictions, or are you good to go and expect to play like you normally would?
I go in the game just ready to play. I always come prepared to play. We haven't talked about anything about minutes, but I'm here for the team and here to win.
More questions for the student athletes. Let's go first row to the right.
Zach Boyer, Lawrence Journal World. Remy, just the last time you were here 3 years ago, it's been a while since you've been in the tournament. I know it's only been 2 days. You haven't played a game yet. But what are your memories of that, and how do they compare to now? And then what's going to obviously be your last go-around here? How do you put all this into context of being at this event?
My first time here was was great energy. I was a freshman, and being able to play in March is something that I've always thought about when I was a kid. Just being able to feel the moment, and then open practices, seeing the fans and stuff was amazing. March brings a whole different energy to college basketball that I love. I love the fans. I love people, the entertainment of the game, and that's what March is about. And also obviously winning, but just the excitement of March, everybody talking about it, and now being on a team that we have a really good chance of going as far as we want. So I'm excited for it. I'm definitely thankful that we get to see fans and we get to see people, and my family could come out and everybody could just hang out and kind of be normal. So that's the most excited thing, is just being back to normal, and obviously grateful to be able to play here.
More questions for the student athletes? Back in front again.
Yeah, DeJuan, just curious after you've now had a chance to dig into Texas Southern, what you've seen from them on tape.
We seen like they're very fast and athletic, so we got to bring it coming out like the first 5 minutes because we know they're gonna come out with a lot of joy to be able to play against us in the tournament. So if we just come out, play our game, and play together, we'll be pretty good. We'll be pretty straight.
And to follow up, DeJuan, they seem to be fairly prone to turnovers. What kind of things can you guys do to make sure that they're doing that and you're keeping the ball and getting transition going?
You said what? I didn't hear the first
They
part.
seem to be pretty prone to making turnovers. What can you do to make them to turn the ball over and then get that transition game going?
Well, we know that they like to back cut a lot, so if we stay focused and not like watch man in ball, I think, and get a lot of tips and the play. It starts with me first, because I start out first, so I got to start the pressure out first. So then if I do that and then I get the other guys going, then get some tips and deflections, and then you know how our wings, they rebound really well, so they get their rebounding well, and then Dave, then they just find me in transition. I just try to pass it to find my teammates open.
Okay. In the far back right.
Yeah, David, this is Chris Lee with Cake TV. What challenges does Texas Southern present to you and for the team down low, especially big men?
Just knowing the scouting report fairly well, we know that they have really athletic post players, really strong, and we know they're really strong on the offensive glass. They crash hard, so we just have to be defensively sound, not giving them second chance opportunities. They have a pretty skilled foreman as well, and he can kind of shoot. So we're just kind of being aware of personnel, make sure we don't allow them to play to their strengths, and then kind of doing what DeJuan said. If our wings rebound, we can move in transition and just kind of speed up the game and play to our strengths and hopefully dominate the glass.
Remy, what difference, if any, does it make to have Texas Southern played last night, having to come down here, you guys are fresh and rested?
Well, I feel for Texas Southern. I mean, I think that Kansas itself, that's enough to play and forget about that next game. I think they're going to come out with tons of energy and excitement to play against us. And on our end, I think that we just got to remain ourselves. Do what got us here. Stay connected. They may make some runs. But as long as we're together and stick to the basics and stick to what we know what to do, we'll be fine. But I know as Texas Southern, just watching them on film, like they said, they run a lot. They like to, they pressure the ball too. They play fast. So I think that we just got to stick to what we do, and I know they'll be excited to play us, and we just got to match that energy.
Second row in the middle.
Hey, Jesse Newell, Kansas State Start. DeJuan, what did you see from Remy last game against Texas Tech, and then what did you see from him after watching the film too?
When I saw, he's very, he's fastest on the court when he's healthy. So he's that fast, that healthy. I feel like it gives us our team, brings us up here even more higher. So if he continues does what he does, bring energy off the bench, getting teammates wide open, creating shots for himself, I would be in great shape.
Mm-hmm.
And for all you guys, we're in Fort Worth. That's where you guys lost last. How important was that locker room and everything that happened in that game to what happened after that?
David, you can start on that question.
That was a pretty big loss for us, and it was just a simple thing of mindset, being prepared, and from there on, we just kind of flipped the switch of being more locked in, being more tenacious, taking pride in the small things that can change a game, making sure that every possession matters. Every little thing that you might think is minuscule in the grand scheme of things makes the biggest difference in each game. And I think from that game on, I think it was a 4 or 5 game win streak just because we made sure every possession, every rebound, every deflection made the most of it. And it really kind of changed the way we thought of the game, and we came out with better energy each time.
Remy?
Yeah, I think that that loss kind of opened our eyes a little bit to what's ahead of us. I don't think that we took it too personally. I mean, obviously it was a tough loss, but we knew that we had to learn from it, and we knew we had the next game. So we just took everything we could. We watched film, we made corrections, and ultimately we got a team that knows what needs to be done, and that wants to win. 1 through 15. So everybody's invested. So when you have a team like that wants to win and is really invested in winning, you know, it kind of makes the next step easier because everybody is looking what's next. So, you know, I think that loss was tough and opened our eyes, and it was, you know, in some parts it was a good thing. And you know, now we're getting ready to get rolling.
Dwan, can you finish the thought about returning to Fort Worth?
When we lost that game against TCU, I think we were just too comfortable because, you know, we had like a 2-game like lead and stretch or whatever in the league or whatever. So we was being too comfortable. Then we went back after that game. We watched film. You know, coach got on us. He told us what we need to do. And then that whole week we had, until now, until the end of the season, well, to now, we've been playing good basketball. We've been playing together. We've been playing our defense got better. So if we keep doing that, then listening to coach and being coachable, then we'll be good.
We have 2 more minutes with the student athletes back in front.
David, in what areas have you seen growth from Zach and KJ this year?
They've both done a lot better job being tenacious on the boards. You know, coach always preaches that if you take away second chance opportunities and defensively rebound, we can push in transition, and offensive rebounding just gives us second chance shots and, you know, proves how strong you are as a big man. They've done a much better job. Zach is honestly his own character. He's really got really comfortable with the team, acclimated to the way our playing style is. He found his niche. KJ just comes in as a ball of energy, rebounds, screens, block shots, does whatever he can to put us over the top in the game, and he really does a great job as well as defending. Soon he comes in, we'll switch 5, and whatever it may be, he's going to give it his all.
One more question, back row on the right.
Jimmy Watkins, Omaha World Herald. Hey, DeJuan, you just mentioned the moment where you guys got a little bit too comfortable before. When that happens, why do you think that happens, and how do you prevent it from happening here, knowing the history of 1s versus 16s?
I feel like why it happened because, you know, we Kansas and stuff, so we think we were just being like too big of ourselves, and so we had to come back down after that loss and had to realize like everybody wants to beat us, so we got to bring it every game, and then prevent that. Basically being coachable, listening to coach, because, you know, coach knows everything. So if he tells us what to do, we know we have to do that, and then bringing energy out, you know, because that game we didn't have a lot of energy to start the game either. So if we come out, have energy, rebound the ball, play defense like we've been doing the last couple games, and then listening to coach, we'd be in great shape.
Men, thank you very much. Good to have you here in Fort Worth. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome the head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks, Bill Self, to the stage. We'll begin with an opening statement and then take questions here in the room. And after questions are exhausted in Fort Worth, we will move to questions on Zoom if there are any. Coach, you can begin with an opening statement.
Well, on behalf of my team, we're all very excited to be here. You know, we haven't been here in a normal way at all the last 2 years, and we certainly missed it. And when you take something away from you, sometimes it makes it feel just how special it is when you get a chance to have it. And so we're excited to be here. We're in competing in Fort Worth, and looking forward to every minute of it.
Okay. Start in the front on the left.
Shea Wildebohr, JayhawksLand.com. Coach, I think yesterday you said you guys had a pep in your step coming off a Big 12 Tournament Championship and Selection Sunday. Can you do anything to ensure that carries over? Can you bottle that in any way to carry it over to this week?
Well, I think, you know, hopefully the confidence, you know, the good feeling of winning is something that you can bottle, so to speak, in a way to help carry over. But the bottom line is this, the way it's set up is you have good things happen. You have a feeling of energy, adrenaline, excitement, but there's a time that passes, and you have to kind of recreate that because you can't continue that each and every day. But I think we got it in us to recreate that in a way, and I know our guys are very excited to play.
In the back row on the left.
Matt Tate, Lawrence Journal World. Coach, what can you tell us about the matchup now that you know who you're playing?
Well, you know, I've known Johnny a long time. Great guy, great coach. I watched quite a bit of tape on him. And the thing that there's a lot of things that impressed me. Obviously, he's going to play a lot of guys. But defensively, you know, you look at them, and they're giving up, I don't know exactly what it is, 39.43% for the year. And you think, wow, I mean, there's some good teams in our league that guard that aren't close to that. And then you think, well, maybe it's skewed a little bit from non-conference. And I looked at non-conference, I think it's 39.6 non-conference, and they played a monster schedule. So they've got interchangeable parts. They've got 3 big guys they can throw at you, and one of them's as athletic as any big we've gone against all year long. And they got a 4-man that can stretch it, and Walker, and you certainly have a quick play out front. So I think they're good. I think they got a good team. I don't think that by any stretch, after studying them, they don't look like a 16 seed to me at all. So we know we'll have to really compete and play well.
And following up on that, the way you guys played in Kansas City, 3 games in a row, 3 days in a row, playing so well, has the break been welcomed, or would you have rather just played 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row? I know you can't go that far, but no. You know what I'm asking.
No, yeah, but we needed a break. We actually took Sunday off, which we had to, and Monday was a walkthrough, and then we practiced hard yesterday and today. So we're right on the schedule that we keep every other week of the year.
Questions for Coach Self? Second row on the right.
Yeah, Bill Jordan, Topeka Capital Journal. You said back in October that you wanted, or you'd like for Remy to be the Energizer Bunny for this team. Do you feel like he's turned into that, and how valuable is having a guy like that in March?
I think he turned into that in Kansas City. There's a big difference if he turned into it like it's a permanent turn or if it's a 72-hour turn. But I think he's capable of being that for us. He's healthy. He looks fast. He's got energy. His body's rested. Let's just be candid, because he couldn't do anything for about a month and a half. So I think he's poised to give us an element that we haven't had consistently all year long.
More questions for Coach? I was worried we had too shy of a group here. 2 in front, though.
Zach Blair, Lawrence Journal World. Bill, just an update on Mitch and his availability for tomorrow, and what you might think from him going forward.
Well, it's still day to day. He practiced some today. Did not go full, but he did do some contact stuff, but it was limited. So we'll wait and see how he feels tomorrow. But we're hopeful he's available to us. But we're, like I said before, we're not going to put him out there if we think if that puts him in some form of risk. But he's made tremendous improvements since Saturday.
Justin Noel, Kansas City Star. Hey, Bill, we're in Fort Worth where you guys lost last. I just wondered what you thought that loss did for this year's team.
Well, I don't know that it was I don't know that any losses are great, but I do think it was definitely humbled us, which, I do think that's good to have your team humbled from time to time, and probably put a new emphasis on some things that we need to do to give us the best chance to win, i.e., emphasizing making the other team play poorly as opposed to just trying to outscore people, because if you've really followed us the last 5 games, we haven't scored the ball or shot the ball near as well as what we had earlier in the year, but we've actually played better because we put more of an emphasis on defensively and also rebounding the ball defensively. So it's not like we haven't emphasized it all year long, but I think the guys are buying in more and more.
Okay. Back again to the left.
So many of your guys have talked about this team and the individual parts. They all know what their role is. They all know what they need to do. Nobody has to play above their head. With that regard, I wonder, do you talk to them about what's expected the next few weeks or even tomorrow? Do you have to have those conversations on the side with guys, or is this such a veteran group that's obvious? And specifically Dave, I wonder his importance, his role.
I don't think that it's anything that we have in detail talked about. We've talked about a lot in general terms. But I do think this afternoon, this evening, tonight, I think I will go into it more, just what this month feels like if we handle our business correctly and keep our minds focused.
And then also with regard to role, Ochai's played in this, but he's a different Ochai now. What can he do in the next few weeks if you guys continue to advance?
You know what I think he can do to really help us and himself is just be who he is and not try to be more than what that is. What that is plenty. And he doesn't need to be a superhero. We've got good players around him. He just got to, be like he was in Kansas City and take what the defense gives him and stay aggressive in all moments and stay positive and even though he didn't make shots in Kansas City consistently, like I think he went 6 for 18, which isn't a bad number by any stretch, but it wasn't anything that, he's got to make shots for us to play well. He doesn't need to feel that. He just needs to be himself.
All right, remember, if you're on the Zoom, you can raise your hand virtually, and we'll get to your questions in just a moment. Here in Fort Worth, let's go back right.
Coach Braxton Jones, KWCH. You opened up talking about being back in this setting, first time really in 2 years. I'm wondering, do you guys harp on the little things, maybe just enjoying this a little more with these guys, since it is, you did kind of lose it these last 2 seasons, and being back, do you guys just discuss enjoying this ride for what it all is?
Well, yeah, 2 seasons ago, nobody went, and last year we all went to Indy, so it was certainly different. But I do think the thing that can be lost sometimes with this is the reward of a lot of people's hard effort over a long period of time. And you can't lose sight of that. I mean, it's fun, it's a reward, but sometimes I think we can look at it as we gotta or we must, and I don't think that's the correct approach. I think all we gotta do is just be who we are, but certainly take the time to enjoy what we're doing. And the teams that I've had that have enjoyed it the most are the teams that usually perform the best in it.
Time for a couple more questions for Coach Self. Not seeing any. Coach, we'll let you go.
I didn't get a rodeo question.
Oh, well. Gosh.
Well,
we talked about how often coaches have gone to the rodeo. We've talked about their favorite events.
Well, I'm from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So
did you participate in the rodeo?
I didn't. No, I didn't participate. I had a player at Tulsa that actually was a steer wrestler.
Okay.
So he rode a horse and jumped off of it and wrestled steer to the ground. That's what he did for his summer job. But Jim Shoulder's brother was a dear friend of ours. And anybody that knows anything about rodeo, Jim Shoulder was probably the best all-around rodeoer up until about the late 70s. So I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.